video to kind of talk about what you need to do to keep yourself in momentum, kind of this midpoint through the year. We're already on May 2nd, 2022, right? This year, it seems like it's just zooming by. And I know usually, our momentum goes in peaks and valleys, right? The beginning of the year, we're excited because it's a new year. We've got a lot of new goals and aspirations, and we get excited. And then, as the year goes on, that momentum sometimes starts to trail off. And what we have to do is consciously keep ourselves motivated and in action. And so I just wanted to check in and remind you guys, it is the 2nd of May. We're already kind of halfway through the year practically. And it's really important that at the beginning of each month, the end of each period, that you take a couple of minutes to review, celebrate, reset, and refocus. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. If we got a couple of you on with us live. If you're watching this live, type live in the comments. If you're watching it after the fact, just type replay so I can kind of see when you guys are watching this. And what I'd love to do is start by hearing about some of your wins, right? There's always wins. There's always things to celebrate. So as you think back over April, whether you hit your targets or not, what are some of the wins? What are some of the things you got done that you're proud of? Maybe a certain number of clients that you landed, or a certain number of clients that you retained, or maybe you hired some key person in your company. Maybe you put some key process in place. Put that in the comments. We all would love to celebrate your wins and your progress. So as I think about staying in momentum, right, and keeping the momentum going at this stage in the year, really it's important that you not just run forward full speed ahead. Sometimes we think, I'm just going to keep hustling. I'm going to keep making the calls. I'm going to keep doing the appointments. I'm going to keep managing the team. I'm going to keep hustling. And if all you do is hustle and you don't take a pause to reflect on what you've accomplished, and you don't take a pause to kind of reset your goals and your targets, you burn out relatively quickly. And so it's really important that you review, like at the beginning of the year, we said goals and targets for the year. We broke them down by quarter. We broke them down by month. At the beginning of this quarter, this May, June, July, this second quarter of 2022, May, June, actually, we got 2 months left, we set some goals for Q2. Let's pause for a minute and review. Did we hit those goals? Are we on target? And then let's kind of reset our commitment. Let's reset our focus to say, okay, resetting, it's a new month, it's a new opportunity to either double down on the results we're getting or to reset. Maybe I fell off track on those goals that I set, and it's time to recommit. It's time to kind of re-energize the focus in that area. Give me a comment here in the chat. Recommit if you need to kind of redial in your emphasis and your focus and your belief that you can hit the goals and the targets, or just re-emphasize if you're like, man, I just need to double down on what I'm doing because I've got some great momentum. I need to keep that momentum going. So let's get practical. 3 things I want to suggest that you review, that you kind of recap, and that you do just for a couple of minutes as you start this new month, going into the end of the quarter. First thing is I would suggest look at your sales and retention tracking. It's always interesting when my pen doesn't fire up. Right? So we've got our sales retention tracking sheet where we're marking down how many sales we need, how many new clients do we need, at what monthly recurring revenue to hit our annual target, and then how many clients do we anticipate churning, right? At some level, there's going to be churn in your business. And as long as you're hitting your stride and you're kind of hitting the targets that you've set, you're going to be on track. What often happens is at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the quarter, we set these targets, and then we never check in with ourselves. And of course, that kills all your momentum, right? Then you're just kind of chasing your tail again. It's always important. Power of manifestation comes from setting a target and then checking in at the end of a period to see, are we on track? Did we do that? Did we not do it? Learn the lessons on why you didn't. Double down on the reasons that you did. And so it's really important. Pull up that sales retention tracking sheet. If you don't have it, type in tracking in the comments here. We'll make sure to get you the link and help you get that set up, because this is a powerful mechanism to move you forward. And I think as you look at it, what you want to see is, are we on track or are we off track, right? On track, let's make sure we celebrate that. Recognize that internally, send some congratulation messages to the people in your team that are involved that help that become a reality. And usually, as you look at the sales and retention tracking sheet, on the sales side, if you didn't hit the target or if you did, it's usually a function of number of strategy sessions, number of appointments, number of sales meetings with prospects in your space. Do you know what that number is? Did you have at least 15 to 20 qualified strategy sessions, you or somebody on your team? If you didn't, you probably are going to struggle to hit whatever goal you set for yourself. And so you might want to look back at your marketing and say, hey, what are we doing? Are we getting the cold emails out? Are we doing our monthly webinar? Are we doing case studies and interviews with our clients and the people within the industry to position ourselves? Are we doing the work to make sure we hit the strategy session number that we need? Sometimes we hit our sales target, but our retention isn't where it needed to be. We lost more clients than we expected, right? Maybe we're shooting for a 97 or 98% monthly retention and we drop down to 95 this month. If that's the case, we want to look at, are we getting our touches in? Are we doing reciprocity, right? Are we sending gifts? Are we sending, thank yous? Are we doing things to make sure the clients feel the love? Usually as you look at the sales retention tracking sheet, it's going to shine a light on some deficiency within the business that you need to work on, that you need to focus on. Now, kind of as you go through this, what I'm going to suggest you do is that you find the things to celebrate, or the wins, and the lessons, right? There's always going to be wins and lessons. And they say that insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different result. And the most powerful learning you can have doesn't come from sitting in webinars, sitting on training sessions, reading books. It comes from learning. It comes from reflecting on the past, especially the recent past, and finding the insights and making course corrections. And so, as you look at what you can celebrate, the opportunity here is to send something, to really encourage your team, to encourage yourself, to keep yourself in momentum, to figure out what works so you can double down on it. But there's always lessons, right? What are the lessons that you can take away from last month? What worked, right? Maybe some specific type of email or some specific activity or something you did at a trade show or an event worked really well. What's the lesson? What are the painful lessons, right? Maybe you lost a critical client. Maybe you had a great opportunity and you didn't land it. What could you do different next time as opposed to repeating the same activity again and again? So just spend some time thinking about this. I would encourage you either put this into a Google Doc and type it out, or write it right down into a notebook. So we're going to look at our sales retention tracking sheet. We're going to look for the things we can win, the wins we can celebrate. We're going to look for the lessons so that we can take those and move them forward in our life. This will help keep us in momentum. It will help keep us from doing the same things again and again, expecting a different outcome. And then really what I want you to do is to reset a little bit. So reset the goal, right? As you look at May, now we're at the beginning of May. It's a fresh start. It's a fresh 30 days. What's the goal? Where do you want to be by the end of May? How many clients would you like to land? How much recurring revenue would you like to be at, right? And what I would encourage you to do is make this present. So present, meaning it's not sitting on a spreadsheet, it's not sitting on a dashboard somewhere on your computer, but it's up in front of you. That way you have to see it every day, right? Get a whiteboard or get a printout, get something where you can physically put this up and say, May, I will land 7 new clients. We will be at $72,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And then maybe break down what does that look like? If we're going to have those 7 clients, how many strategy sessions do we need? And really log this. Keep it front and center. Make the goal present. If you've got a team, make sure the team knows, right? Whether they're on your sales, your marketing, or client fulfillment side of the business, let the team know. This month, our goal is to sell 7 new clients. Here's what we're going to do. All energy, all focus is on this month. There's power in not just having a goal, but really making it visible and making it present. And then the other thing you want to do as you reset is you want to reset the plan, right? What is it that you're going to do this month, right? It doesn't have to be a million things. Could be, this month we're going to make sure we get a webinar out, right? That way we can nurture our database, we can put out some fresh content, have some new things to talk about on social media. Could be, I'm going to make sure that we do a webinar, that we interview someone within the industry. We interview them on what they're doing, what's working. That way we can have good content to load into YouTube and to kind of share out in the industry. Maybe this month you're going to make sure you get out at least 500 cold messages that are customized, and you're going to reach out, you're going to send custom videos. I don't know, right? But just spend some time building the plan that's going to help you hit that goal that's ever present. So these are the keys, right? If you do this, you will keep yourself in momentum going into May, right? Review our sales retention tracking sheet. What do we do? Are we on track? Are we off track? Celebrate the wins. Let the team know. Let yourself know. Do something to acknowledge that progress and that momentum. If you don't take a minute to celebrate your progress, it will just go like, water under the bridge. Right? It'll be gone, right? And that will kill your inspiration, will kill your momentum. So we get more of what we celebrate. So be sure to do this. What are the lessons? We're going to spend a couple minutes kind of recapping the lessons. That way we can carry them forward. Most importantly, we're going to reset the goals. We're going to make it front and center. Here are the goals for May, right? Just don't get crazy with it. It's just only 30 days. And then what's the plan? What are the micro steps you're going to take to make that a reality? So this is the scoop. I want you guys all to take action. Let me know your wins here in the comments. If you have some really salient lessons that you learned, post those in the comments. And if you're so bold, let us know what the goal is. What's the goal? How many clients will you land? And what will your monthly recurring revenue be? Let's keep the momentum going. Let's make this an amazing May. And I look forward to celebrating your wins and celebrating your progress. Talk to you soon.